Cheryl Swoopes, she can't not try to light a fire involving Caitlin Clark. She can't just be good. She's trolling Caitlin Clark again, this time by celebrating the arrival of Paige Becker.
Cheryl Swoopes just made another bold move after being let go from the WNBA, and this one spoke volumes without her saying a word. She showed up on Gilbert Arenas' podcast wearing a Paige Buchers t-shirt. Was it simple support for a rising star? Not exactly. It felt more like a subtle jab at Caitlin Clark, cleverly masked as praise for someone else. Let's be real. If there's one thing Swoopes has been consistent about lately, it's her ongoing effort to minimize every accomplishment Clark achieves.
With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that player said it.
Okay.
Right?
Let's face it, the more Caitlin Clark shines, the more it seems to disturb a few former stars who aren't ready to give up the spotlight. And Swoopes, instead of guiding the new wave of talent, chooses bitterness. She's not handing over the torch. She's clutching it like it's her last paycheck. But fans aren't blind. We see the pattern, and it's starting to look increasingly desperate with every passing day.
We saw her get replaced during the Fever game for the Dallas Wings commentary team last year because of words and the hate she had towards Caitlin Clark. And it was just one thing after another. I said yesterday, even Stephen A. Smith crushed her last year.
This isn't about supporting Paige or uplifting the game. It's about pushing a tired, outdated narrative that Caitlin Clark doesn't deserve her spot. And let's be honest, it's getting old really fast.
Because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
Caitlin didn't ask for the spotlight. She earned it through record-breaking stats, consistent excellence, and an unteachable level of poise. She didn't rise through media favoritism or political sound bites. She rose because her game demanded it. No gimmicks, no drama, just pure dominance. If you're tired of watching WNBA vets pull gatekeeper moves like this, drop a CC for MVP in the comments. This isn't just shady, it's strategic, and we're not here for it.
Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark.
What is she doing wrong? What more do you want from Caitlin Clark? Seriously, what more do you want from her? She's focusing on the game. She lifted her team up, got them to the playoffs, won Rookie of the Year, and then also is denouncing racial tensions when she's asked about it. I'm sorry, I don't see anything more that Caitlin Clark should have done or could have done.
Let's not fool ourselves. This beef isn't new. Swoopes had Clark on her radar long before Caitlin even stepped onto a professional court. This isn't a one-off misunderstanding or a rogue comment taken out of context. It's a campaign, a steady drip of remarks, criticisms, and calculated jabs aimed at dimming the spotlight that Clark has undeniably earned.
She was remarkable on top of the fact that she had to deal with so much hate when she got to the WNBA.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth.
From throwing side-eye during Caitlin's historic college run to trashing her impact on the league before she even got drafted, Swoopes has made her stance painfully clear. Remember when she tried to dismiss Caitlin's record-breaking NCAA tournament performance? Or how she was pulled from commentary roles because of her anti-Clark views? Yeah, even Stephen A. Smith had to step in and say, "Okay, Cheryl, this is getting ridiculous."
It was a stupid decision because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand.
That's not someone sharing a hot take. That's someone with an agenda. When your criticism is so loud it gets you benched by networks, something's off. What we're witnessing isn't just personal, it's professional insecurity disguised as analysis. Swoopes isn't worried about Caitlin being good. She's terrified Clark might be better. Better ratings, better game, and a better future for the WNBA.
That's what a lot of these women are doing, is They feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry.
Caitlin Clark's rookie season has already surpassed some of the most legendary seasons in WNBA history, including Swoopes' own MVP run. That's not a diss. That's just data. But instead of recognizing the rise of a once-in-a-generation talent, Swoopes has made it her mission to become Clark's biggest critic. Not because of basketball, but because of control. Caitlin's success rewrites the narrative, and Swoopes doesn't like that she's no longer the one holding the pen.
Wake up and be mad. Never forget, in Swoopes' MVP season, she averaged less points, assists, and rebounds than Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Caitlin Clark's rookie year was quite a bit better than Cheryl Swoopes' MVP season.
So, what do you do when your legacy feels threatened? You cling to relevance. And what better way to get your name trending again than by poking the most talked about player in the game? It's a move designed to stay in the spotlight, even at someone else's expense.
No, Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now.
That brings us to the t-shirt stunt. Swoopes shows up wearing Paige Bucher's name like it's just fashion. Please, she knew exactly what she was doing. This wasn't a nod to a rising star, it was shade. A message in cotton saying, I'll support a white player, just not that white player.
What are you doing? Look at this. Just stays, man. Were y'all talking about Caitlin Clark at this very moment? She knows what she's doing.
Let's not forget, Swoopes has never shown this kind of support for Paige before. But the moment Caitlin Clark starts dominating headlines, suddenly Paige becomes the new poster girl. Give us a break. The move was painfully obvious. Paige Bucher's fits the ideological mold the WNBA's legacy insiders prefer. Politically vocal, socially aligned, and someone they can shape. Caitlin, on the other hand, doesn't fit that mold. She doesn't play politics, doesn't chase causes. She just plays hard, relentlessly, and brilliantly.
Now, I've got a theory. Oh, look at me. I'm not really racist because I'm wearing the white girl's shirt. You see that? But the girl from the Midwest, y'all just happen to hate her completely.
And that terrifies people like Cheryl Swoopes because Caitlin Clark doesn't need their approval. She doesn't need to play their game. She's rewriting the rules entirely. It's a new era, and Clark isn't waiting for anyone to give her the green light.
The only problem with this is, and this has been the problem the whole time with the Paige-Caitlin comparison, Paige is an activist basketball player just like these old WNBA players that's been in the league. All right? They're shilling she's all up in all the social stuff. And so that's why they're letting her in. That's why they're cool with her.
So let's not pretend this was about Paige. This was a drive-by subtweet in t-shirt form. It's the oldest trick in the book. Pit women against each other to make a statement you're too afraid to say out loud. But here's the problem. Fans are smarter now. They've seen Swoopes' history, the digs, and the pattern. So when she throws on that shirt, they don't see support. They see petty. They see projection. They see someone still not over being replaced as the face of women's basketball.
The reason that Caitlin Clark is getting all of this attention is because she is an anomaly. She is a phenomenal player. And Paige Bueckers is also a phenomenal player, but it just isn't the same. She doesn't do the same things. She doesn't do the things that have never been seen.
And the saddest part? Paige Bueckers deserves better than being used as a prop in someone else's vendetta. She's a great player in her own right. She doesn't need to be weaponized against Caitlin Clark just to make a point for someone else. Let's give her the respect she deserves.
We want to see Caitlin Clark and we want to see Paige Bueckers.
Caitlin scored more points per game, but Paige was more efficient.
In the end, this all comes down to one thing. Caitlin Clark's success is inevitable and no amount of shade is going to stop it. So Cheryl, wear all the shirts you want, but the numbers, the fans, and the future are all wearing one name, and it's Clark. The future's already here.
They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much credit.
Let's get straight to the point. Cheryl Swoopes isn't mad because Caitlin Clark is overrated. She's mad because Caitlin Clark is undeniable, and that, more than anything, has exposed deep insecurities in those who once controlled the conversation. When someone new walks into the room, commanding attention without begging for it and without playing by the usual rules, the gatekeepers get nervous. And that's where we are with Cheryl Swoopes and the WNBA Old Guard.
Most points by a point guard in a season in WNBA history. Most double-doubles by a rookie guard in WNBA history. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history. Most assists by a rookie in the history of the WNBA. First WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles. First triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history. First triple-double in Fever history. The first player to be named WNBA Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same month. First player in WNBA history with 20 or more points, 15 or more assists, and 5 or more rebounds in a game.
Rather than acknowledge Clark's undeniable influence, Swoopes is pulling stunts, wearing a Paige Buecher's shirt like it's subtle. But we all see it for what it is, a cheap deflection, a passive-aggressive jab dressed up as support. It's a move born from discomfort, not celebration. And the worst part? Swoopes thinks fans are too naive to catch the pattern, but we do. We always do.
What happened is Caitlin Clark in her sophomore year and really in her junior year just started excelling and doing things that nobody had ever seen a female basketball player do. Like nobody had consistently been shooting these from the logo passes.
The uncomfortable truth here is that Caitlin Clark has done more in one season to elevate the WNBA than many veterans did in their entire careers. That's not shade, it's reality. We're talking sold-out games, record-breaking viewership, massive revenue jumps, and jersey sales that leave even top NBA players trailing. She's igniting passion in places the league never reached. Iowa gyms are filled with kids who didn't even know what the WNBA was before Clark arrived. That's not hype, that's impact. No t-shirt can erase that. At some point, we have to be honest. This constant undermining of Caitlin Clark is less about her flaws and more about others' fear of fading relevance. Swoopes doesn't want to confront the fact that Clark isn't just one of the greats. She's already standing shoulder to shoulder with them and, in some metrics, surpassing them. That's hard to accept for someone whose identity is tied to being the pioneer. But being a legend doesn't